It's Carolyn Zook here with Zook Stitch, and today is Saturday, June 14th, 2025. Welcome to my channel about cross stitch. I am so glad that you are here spending part of your day or your evening with me. Before we jump into the good stuff, I just wanted to say for everyone in Minnesota who has been impacted by the shooting there, it's a very scary situation. There was a shooting of a couple of state lawmakers. I believe they were state lawmakers. And their spouses. One lawmaker and her husband were killed, and another one and his wife they are expected to survive. As I'm filming this, the manhunt is still underway for the shooter. My family lives in the Twin Cities area, so they are very much impacted by this. So please stay safe out there. And my thoughts and heart is with everyone in Minnesota who is impacted by this. All right, we got some stitching to talk about today. The week was fine. It was a busy week. I had to go to campus. Usually I'm able to work from home over the summer, but this week I had to go to campus 3 days just for various in-person meetings and things like that needed to be taken care of. So it just made for a little bit of a busier day, but I still managed to get some cross stitch in. So let's get into it. I'm actually wearing a sweatshirt, even though it's the middle of June, because it's chilly. So a week ago, last Sunday and Monday, we had, it was like upper 90s, like 97, 98 degrees. Well, not 98, 97 degrees, let's say, which is way too hot for me. And we are not equipped for it here in the Pacific Northwest where I live. Then now, like yesterday, the high was like 63. And after living through like mid 90s, I mean, this time of year normal for us is like low to mid 70s is kind of normal for us right now. And it feels really, and we've been more or less in the like 80s, low 80s. That's supposed to be summer for us, is low to mid 80s, which is why I moved here, folks. But of course, as the years go on, the summers get warmer. And, but after going through like 96, 97 degree weather, like 63 feels a little chilly. So I'm like all cozied up today. I will probably take my sweatshirt off after I film this because I think it's supposed to get up to 80 today. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be that warm or not. But anyway, I'm excited because it feels a little like fall. So that is really fun. Okay, let's get into stitching. I have lots of good stuff to share with you. A couple of surprises, which I think you'll be excited about. But first, let's look at our 25/7 piece. So I work on this 25 minutes a day. Actually, I usually try to do a little bit more, especially, well, this week I wasn't able to do as much, but especially because normally I work from home during the summer. So like I save a lot of time, like commute time. You know what I mean? So this is my 25/7 piece for the month of June. This is a Buttons and Beads Mill Hill kit. It is called Spotted Cow, and I think it is so cute. So I started in the center, and I'm stitching this on just a 28 count Lugana antique white. I don't love stitching on perforated paper. I'm not exactly sure how I want to FFO it. So I've set, I'm not sure if a pillow or a flat fold. So I decided just stitch it on fabric and then you can decide. So I got pretty far. Like we have a side of his eye, which is great. Sorry about the hanging thread. I just needed to move on last night as I was stitching, so that will be there to finish up tonight. But this is where we got to. There's a bunch of holes in his, I don't want to say holes in his head, but there's holes in his head where beads will go eventually. And there's a little bit of back stitch, like his eye will have a bead, like a little white, well, it's a French knot, but I'm going to put a little white bead in there instead of a French knot. So cute little faces coming together, and it's just so cute. Eventually I want to get over here to get his other eye, other side of his face in, but this is where we are at. It is full coverage. I mean, it's small. I don't have the size. The size is like buried inside, but you can get an idea of what we have there. Oh, he's so cute. It's precious. So that is my 25/7 piece for this week. So making good progress. It really does come together pretty quick. I mean, there's lots of sections of stitching. So it does go fairly fast once you work on it. Okay, so then last Saturday, my Saturday piece for this month, I pulled out The Magic of Summer. This is for the magazine monthly cross stitch challenge Facebook group. Our theme for the month is candy shop. So I pulled out, this is the Dimensions kit called The Magic of Summer, because I am changing the kite shop here to a candy shop in a town on the Oregon coast that I love to go to. So I am still over here in this corner. It's a Dimensions kit, but I am doing it all 2/2. I'm using the kit floss, and I did change out the fabric. So we're getting a little more of these like flowers on the rooftop in, but we're not quite to the roof. I am stitching this on a 32 count Sea Glass by Fortnite Fabrics that was in my stash. So what I worked on, and it's really hard to see, but there's some clouds up in here that I did spend a lot of time working on. You can see there's a flag here. Now, at the end, I have to go back in and do some, there's like red stripes that it will make it look more like an American flag. So it's going to look weird for a while. And then I came over here and did some more work on that line of the roof with the flowers. And you can see there's some fill-in and stuff. I mean, this isn't completely full coverage. There is some areas that are going to be open. It is a little tricky. My brain has to think a little bit. Heaven forbid I have to think a little bit, because the called for fabric is just like a white Aida that came with the kit. I switched it to like Sea Glass, which is kind of like a blue-green. It's kind of washed out on the camera. It's a little, you could see that it's blue-green. And it's very much, Sea Glass is a great name for it. So I have to really think about, like, the blue parts of the sky, I'm just going to leave. I'm not going to stitch those. Like all this over here, I'm not going to stitch that because the sky just does it on its own. The fabric just does it on its own. But down in here, there's some areas of sand, some like white areas in the sand, which are not stitched, that I will have to stitch in because my fabric is not white, if that makes sense. Anyway, this is where I got to. So I did start pulling down a little bit. Like, this is not a very big piece. It's, what does it say here? Doesn't have the stitch count. But like, it's under 100 stitches top to bottom, high. So like, I'm not terribly far from the bottom. Like, if you look at, I'm maybe like right in here. So maybe about halfway down. Well, I guess halfway down. So, I mean, it's not, I mean, what? It's going to go down to here maybe? I mean, it's not terribly big. It's long, but it's not terribly big. So anyway, I love working on this. I'm so excited to get into the personalizations that I plan to do. And I'll tell you more about those as we get into it. But so that was The Magic of Summer, which counts for the theme candy shop for this month. And it'll be coming out on other Saturdays this month. So we'll get some good work on that. My seasonal Sunday is Spring Montage, artwork by Janet Stever, charted by Pain Free Crafts. And we are, where are we? Up in this area. I think I'm just starting that little branch that pokes upward there. So here is where I got to. So I did a lot of, when you're down in this area on this branch with the flowers and whatnot, it's pretty confetti heavy. So I spent some time doing that. I got in 366 stitches. So I did some of the confetti stitching a bit, and then I went up here and did like, this is like, I think there's like maybe 2 or 3 colors in there. So that goes really, really quickly. So we are getting there. We only have one more day on this. So tomorrow, it's going to be the last day on this before it goes away. So I am excited. This is the edge of the first block. We won't get the first block done yet, but that's fine because I kind of feel like the first, like it kind of just is one big block, right? Really. Although I think this is going to go much faster. So we'll see what we get to in our other day, but we are now at 8.85% done. So I don't think we'll quite get to double-digit % done on this year, but that's okay. So that's where we're at with spring montage. And next week I'll show you the before we started on the stitching, before and after, before we stitch this round, before we switch over to summer montage, which will be really fun. Okay. Oh no, I forgot to pull something. Hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I had to run upstairs. I didn't mean to be so dramatic about it, but I forgot. So, another thing I worked on this week, Biddy Bowl, July. Check, it's done. This Biddy Bowl was a chart of the month. We actually got 2 charts each month that I was in last year, through Pine Mountain Needle. And I showed you last week, I showed you the pillow that was done, and then I got the bag done. So this will fold up. It'll be very cute. It'll fold up, be sewed up into a little bag. So all I had left was this banner here, this bunting down at the bottom. It did take me almost an hour to get that in. So, this in total, this bag took me 3.7 hours to complete. So July is done, which means, it needs to be FFO'd, but which means I only have 2 months left. So this is on my year of WIPs as 1 WIP, even though there's 2 charts per month. So really there's 24 charts, but I only have 2 left. I have September and October that are left to do. So I'm excited and I'm ready to get this done. And so Biddy Bowl July bag done, check, only 2 more to go. So that's what I worked on last Saturday night as I finished that up. Okay, so then we did spring montage. Then, so my WIPGO call for this month is, one of them is 'Tis the Season by Blackbird Designs. And we have a finish. That's the first surprise for you. We have a finish. So we finished 'Tis the Season. This is by Blackbird Designs. It's in a booklet called Home for the Holidays. And this is what it looks like. Really pretty. I know it's kind of washed out, and you can see the white in real life better than it's showing up on here. And 'Tis the Season to be Jolly. We got the words in English. I will say, with the English words, if you are stitching this, and now this very well could have been something I messed up on. The word jolly ran into this snowflake. So I got the J-O-L and I had to rip it all out and readjust. And you can see there's a little bit bigger space here, which I think is fine. Like in the grand scheme of things, it's not going to be super noticeable, but it's because the L's, because they're so tall, ran into that snowflake. And I'm not sure. I mean, I followed the pattern. I don't think I messed up anywhere else. Like I don't think I messed up anywhere else that I didn't catch. But the French word fits there nicely, but the L's will bump into that snowflake. So just be aware of that. They do tell you where to start the tis. Like they give you good instructions on where to start the tis. So for the English charting, they will give you like this little bit in here so you can place that tis accordingly. So just take note of that and maybe space everything a little bit differently so you can see there is a little bit of a space. I don't think it will matter. This is a gift from my mom. I don't think it will matter in the grand scheme of things. I could maybe put a charm or something in there, but I don't know. But this is going to be our Christmas present. Don't tell her. I need to get it framed. So this is 'Tis the Season. So I stitched this on a 32 count Bellini by Color and Cotton. Okay, I'm going to set this down because my arms are tired. I started this November 18th, 2023, and I finished it June 11th. So it was that Wednesday, maybe? Thursday? Yesterday is the 30th. Yeah, Wednesday. And it took me 44 hours, so not terribly long. It actually goes pretty quick. So, and this is on my year of WIPs, so that means I now have 6 of my year of WIP pieces done. So what we did is the rules this year for Year of Whips, which is by Soulful Stitcher Melanie Watkins on Facebook. It's closed now, but she will open it up. Like, it's open to anybody, but you got to start before the new year. It runs from January 18th to December 18th. So you really only have 11 months instead of the whole year. And the rules of this year were pick 10 and you have to finish at least half of them. You could do more than 10, but you have to pick minimum 10, and whatever number you pick, you have to complete at least half of them to be in the drawing that she does, a very generous drawing at the end of the year, every year for us. So, so I picked 10. I decided to UFO one of them, which basically meant I had 9, which is kind of against the rules, but like, I'm hoping she will still let me participate. I don't know. We'll see. But either way, I really only have 3 left that need to be finished. Antonia, Roselle E. Garcia by Jan Hicks Creates. That was not come out very much. That's on my WIPGO board, and it's only been called 1 time out of the 4 times it's on my board. So I think it'll be, my guess is it'll be doubled up a bit later in the year. But anyway, so Antonia, the Biddy Bowl Club, which you know we're making progress on, and then Woodland Christmas, which we have started on number 11 out of 12. Was that right? Doesn't feel right. 10? Maybe we started number 10 out of 12. We'll check. Anyway, so that's the WIPGO and the Year of Whips update. So this is my WIPGO board. So this is 'Tis the Season, which got marked off. Now, Jessie Marie, I need a 17 to get my first WIPGO, or a 3 after I finish. 21 is this month's. That's Christmas dinner, which we'll work on in a couple weeks. But we'll get that done, and then we need a 3. So 3 or 17 to get a WIPGO. Okay? Thank you. Thanks, Jessie Marie. So we are making good progress. Now, here's the thing. With 'Tis the Season, it only took me 3 days, almost exactly. It was kind of weird. Almost three of the 4 days that I had scheduled on it for my WIPGO board to finish it up. So I had 1 more day, and 'Tis the Season is on my WIPGO board 2 additional times. So I had 2 times plus 1 additional day for this month before I felt like I could mark it off. So I had to do a substitution. So this is your second surprise, folks. So I was like, what am I going to do for substitution? Well, I decided to pull out an oldie but a goldie. And I think you guys will be excited about this. And it is an Ultimate Cross Stitch Cats and Dogs. This is volume 21 from 2019. This is what the cover looks like. And it just has cats and dogs in it. Okay, are you ready? Can you guess yet? If you've been here a while, can you guess yet? It is Warm Welcome. This is by Joanne Aston. And I am just up here in this first corner. This has not come out in a couple of years, I think, honestly. So I pulled it out. I gave it its 1 day to finish up my WIPGO call. My WIPGO call still got so much cat hair on it. I think the white, so I have, Simon was a gray tabby, and Jack is a black cat. So when I have like white, it really shows up. So I am stitching this just on a, 28 count antique white Lugana. And this is where we're at. So this is a bit of a surprise because I didn't show you the before. So these are all half stitches in the background in the sky. I decided I'm going to go through and just make them full. You can see I started that a little bit down here, but I'm going to, just because that's what I like to do. When I started this, I wasn't really doing that. So, and then I did a bunch of fill-in in here. It's really hard to tell, especially because you don't have a starting picture, but I did some fill-in. There's a lot of empty spots. There are some backstitching. I think there's maybe even some beads that go in here later. So there are some empty holes still. that will stay empty. And then you could see, I don't know if you could see this line right here. We're starting the brickwork for the side of the archway, of the gateway. The gateway, that sounds like very cultish, doesn't it? But anyway, so I did a few rows of doing the second cross there in the sky. And then I just went and just did a bunch of fill-in. That's what I did. So this is going to be the replacement for the other two Tis the Seasons that were on my WIPGO board. So this is going to get 8 more days of work this year. Isn't that exciting? So that's where we're looking at right now. So I was very excited. I want to work on this one. I love this one. I want it done. I want it hanging on my wall. It's flowers and cats. It's everything perfect that I love so much. So I'm really excited about that choice. Let me tell you. I can tell you when I started it, because in the back, hold on, I have to take some secret notes off that you can't know about just yet. You will eventually. So these are all my WIPs, my current WIPs, arranged from oldest to newest. Warm Welcome was started March 23rd, so it must have been a birthday start actually, in 2021. Which to me feels like, oh, it's just a couple years ago. It's not that bad, but actually that's 4 years ago. It needs to be done. So next year, so in 2026, here's my plan. Yes, I've already started planning. The plans kind of write themselves when I tell you what I'm doing. I have decided that I'm going to kind of focus on these older WIPs because I have a tendency to start really big projects and I love them and I want to continue them. And then I set it down and then somebody asked me to start something else and this and that and the other. And I can't say no. So I'm going to focus on my older WIPs for next year. And so this one is kind of in line. So because I have it, arranged by oldest to newest WIPs, I can go through and I say, okay, so I think my WIPGO board I'm going to pick my 6 oldest WIPs, and they are probably none of them, I'm looking at the list right now, I don't think any of them will be finishes, right? Unlike this year. So I'm hoping Melanie will still do Year of WIPs next year. But I will do, my WIPGO board will be my 6 oldest WIPs just to get it going again, which involves all my Acorn Hollows. Just if you've been around for a while, all the Acorn Hollows will be coming out next year. So Warm Welcome as a substitution is kind of in that vein. And you saw me, I also pulled out Elegant Pumpkins, which was another substitution when I finished Snuggle is Real. That's another very old one. It was started in September of 2020. So we are really going to be focusing on our older WIPs next year. So I'm super excited that that's coming back out and I'm happy to see it and all that. Okay. So that was 'Tis the Season and Warm Welcome kind of WIPGO. And then last night, for Flag Day, I pulled out One Nation by Bygone Stitches. I try to pull this out just when we have some national holiday or whatever. Now, on this one, I am working on the stars first. We are this row right here. So after I finish this row, which I'm almost done with, we will have 2 more big rows, which is 6. So that's 12 plus 5. It's 12 plus 5 is 17. Yeah. So we're kind of right down here. So we're over halfway through with the Field of Stars is my main point. I'm stitching this on a 32 count French blue by Fabrics by Stephanie. I think it is perfect fabric. I love it. So last night, what I worked on is I had to finish this border here, this blue border. So I finished that. And then I went back and I completed 3 stars. And that's all I had to. These stars take a good half hour at least to do each star. So they take quite a bit of time, for me anyway. And so I only have 2 left. So this is going to come out 2 more times yet this month because I try to give my pieces a 3-day rotation when I can. And as I mentioned before, that this is the one because there's no real goal yet. Like it's too far from a finish where it's like, oh, I'm not going to push it to a finish this year, right? But my goal is just to make progress on it. So, but this is the one that if things get busy or, this is the one that gets kind of dropped. Poor thing. Oh. But the next time it'll come out 2 more times this month. So this row will get done and then we'll start on the next row. So we are getting there. So if each one of these takes about half an hour, so I'm on a short row, which only has the 5 stars. And then the next row, right, we're going to have to do the 6 stars, which that's 3 hours. If each one takes me about half an hour and assuming no frogging, right? That's going to be, the whole row will take me one evening, but I still have to do the blue thing in it, right? So the blue border. So next time this comes out this month, which will probably, I think next Friday, I'll finish up this row, which will be good. And then I'll get a good start on that border, hopefully. And then the third time it comes out, maybe I can get another row done. Oh, wouldn't that be great? And then if that happens, when it comes out next time, I don't know, whenever next, probably, is it coming out July? I don't know. My July is weird. I'll talk about that later. I have 2 more rows, a short row and a long row left to do until I can start on the fun part, which is the state names and all that. So that is where we're at with One Nation. I know Gary is done with his and he did his and he did his whole piece in half an hour. But I'm slower than Gary. I think we all are slower than Gary, frankly. Okay, so that was One Nation. Okay, so that's my stitching for this week. Very exciting. So, haul. I have a little bit of haul. I mean, it's mostly subscription type things. These colors are so pretty. I got my Classic Colorworks Floss Fix from Fat Quarter Shop. Look at these colors. And tell me they don't just scream spring to you. We have Peach Sorbet, which is this kind of yellow orangey one. Peanut Brittle, which is this light tan. Pebble Beach. I don't see it. I mean, I know it's in there. It's kind of hard to see. I think it's hiding under there. It's like a brownie gray. Perfect Pie Crust. I don't know where that is either. I don't know. It's in there somewhere. Don't worry. Persimmon. My brain really switched those letters around. Persimmon, that pretty coral color. And then Petite Maison, which is the blue. Really pretty colors. So I got that. And then I got the next Nutcracker chart. One for me and one to give away to you. This is Spanish Hot Chocolate. This is by Dirty Annie's. This is from Crazy Annie's, who sends them out to me. She sends me one for me to keep and add to my stash and one for you to give away to you. So that is number 6 this month's, June's. So I got that in the mail. And then I got my next World of Cross Stitching. This is June 2025 issue. Look at that puppy. That's a Hannah Designs. What kind of dog is this? Somebody tell me. I looked and I couldn't see. But tell me what. I'm not a dog person. I love dogs. But I've never had a dog. And so I don't know dog breeds. But tell me what kind of dog that is. So we got that. And then it came with 2 free gifts. A bobbin kit here. Very pretty. You can use it as a keychain. You can use it as a fob. And a bobbin. So really cute. And then the sweet little extra booklet with cute little extras in it. So we got that. So we'll be filming a flip through hopefully this weekend. I know I owe you another one from last week or the week before as well. Okay. Giveaways, folks. I don't know what is wrong with me. I am still behind. My goal is I don't have a lot going. Well, that's not true. I have a lot going on this weekend, but I'm gonna try to carve out a couple hours to just send them out. So again, my deepest apologies. So that's giveaways. So no giveaways this week. Plans. So plans are very similar to what we've been talking about. 25/7 will continue to be Spotted Cow. Magic of Summer is coming out again, and this is going to count as the E in Sweets, which is the magazine monthly acrostic for the month. E for exchanging motifs, because I am exchanging some of the motifs. Last day of spring montage is going to happen tomorrow. Very exciting. And then this week we're going to focus on, we're going to give 4-day rotation to Woodland Christmas. So this is part 10. So 10 out of 12. So after I finish this one, I'll still have 2 more to go. So this is Santa. This is by Tiny Modernist. I was in this is from Crazy Annie's. I paid for this club a couple of years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, I think it was. I think it was in like 2022. Where they sent you 1 ornament a month. And I think they're all super stinking cute. And so this is on a 28 count Dove Gray. I'm doing them all on one big piece. I think this will make a great wall hanging. And so I have started, you can see I started a little bit on the border there for number 10. So we're hoping we're going to give it 4 days this week. We're hoping that's going to finish it. Maybe even give us a little extra time to start on the border for number 11, just to give us a little head start. But this is where we're at. So we are aiming for a finish on that. So this is one of the ones that is on my year of WIPs. Yeah, a lot of stitching in that Santa, but, we'll get it done. And then, and Woodland Christmas stands for the W in Sweets. And then my Friday stitch will be One Nation. So that's going to come out for another round. So we'll finish up that row and maybe get the blue border done. Okay, that is everything I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'm trying to think if anything coming up. I think next week is supposed to be a normal week, which is very good. Like, I don't think I have to go in the office. I don't think so. Just working from home like normal, which is great. That saves me so much time, honestly. I'm not teaching right now, so we're just chill, right? We're chill. So everything is good. Please stay safe and take care of yourselves, and I will see you all next week. Bye.